Beyond sobriety, yes, this is very important. People ask me, what do I focus on? Now that I've given up the party that lasted all weekend, all my life, what do I focus on? Generally, I suggest 3 areas. Health, and as healthy as you are, you and I know as we grow older, you need to get even more healthy, and as healthier you get, there's still more to get. There's ways to eat, there's ways to drink, there's ways to exercise, there's ways now to sleep. All right, and the ways to calm your body down, you don't get angry anymore. So health is one of the areas one needs to focus on. The other thing, and the youngsters usually enjoy this, is wealth. As much as you earn or you make, there's still more to make. Okay? If you're interested, Richard Branson's apparently floating one of his companies if you have the money, right? Okay? So wealth is another area. I'm not saying buy Richard Branson's company, but yeah. The whole thing is and wealth can mean different things. It doesn't necessarily need to mean material wealth. It can mean emotional wealth. They speak of spiritual wealth. All right, they speak of these things: emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence. We can accumulate wealth in different ways. We can accumulate wealth in terms of knowledge, information, wisdom, and there's never an end. And make that your goal or your absolute, your health, wealth. And the other area, which is probably the most challenging generally, is relationships. As much as I'm a father, and some of you guys may be fathers and mums, all right? As much as you endeavor to give love to your child, there's still an infinite reservoir more. And as much as we then react to them in a negative way, realize you should have responded to them. Because that's going to be your legacy you truly leave behind. That's going to be the picture of who you are. And you have to learn, we asked about earlier, how to not react to negative people. And generally you find you still react to your kids, and I'm hoping they're not negative, especially when they're young. When they're older, it may be a different story. The idea is to respond to them, to connect with them, to come from that place of compassion, kindness, and caring, and absolute love. And to come from a space of humility. All right? And the one story, I'm going to share this. I'll share this. So again, it's health, wealth, and relationships. So the one story I want to share, because it's been playing on my mind, is there's a monk who told me this story. And he belongs to a movement, right? And the head of the movement is Pramukh Swami, right? Who's left this earth. And there was this huge festival. And they had gone off to meet another chief monk of another movement, who writes very articulately, intellectually, compassionately, and with love. And he was very in awe of this particular chief monk that he was meeting. I think his name was Chinmay Swami, all right? And when he goes, he's excited to meet him. And he goes, meets him, and is like, oh, thank you for coming. You're the monks of the Swaminarayan movement, and the head is Pramukh Swami. So he was also excited, Chinmay Swami, to meet these monks. And in the excitement, the young monk says to Chinmay Swami, he says, wow, you're such a great person. Please put your hand on my head as a sign of blessing. And human beings and I would do this. Yeah, I bless you. And all those things, because you're like, yeah, it sounds like the most natural reaction. And I found this amazing. What Chinmay Swami did, he paused. It seemed like he was responding, thinking, and he responded with an amazing answer. He says, you've already had the hand of Pramukh Swami on your head. That is far more than I could ever give you. That's a true response of compassion, kindness, and love. And absolute humility. Most of us would be stumped. How do we react? We would lay our hands, right? Even though we may not be worthy enough. But that was so beautiful, because in that pause, in that moment, he responded and came from a space not to exude or go onto this ego platform because someone had praised him, but still kept himself absolutely, absolutely grounded. and was able to, in that moment where you are praised, praise another. Most of us are flying on cloud 9. We're nowhere near earth when one person praises us. Yet he kept his feet on the ground. And that's where, amazingly, I want to use it as an answer on how to deal with negative people. Because both require the same. When you're honored, keep your feet on the ground. When you're insulted, keep your feet on the ground. In fact, when you're honored, it's very more important to keep your feet on the ground. When you may be insulted, maybe to kind of raise your levels up and look the person in the eye. Because what is true authenticity or assertion is to show love and respect, not just to the other, but to yourself.